So that was user error. That was my error. So I'm live now, and don't know if Rod's part of the stream. I'm trying to get my chat back open, guys. Sorry. All right, now it shows that it's live. All right. Okay, I think we're straight now. Yep. I gotta shift my OBS interface over this away. All right, so we're still looking at the 40 gallon, but I'm getting ready to shift it to the rasboras. So I gotta go get the camera. Alrighty. This is the 5 gallon. The reflection is blue. I think. I don't know why it's blue, but the water's not blue. The background's black. But I have a small colony of 6 Harlequin rasboros, and they're about a 1/2 inch long. And maybe we'll start getting some more people in chat here in a little bit. Now, I had to change the stream key. Hello, Jeff. Making a plate of food. Great. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, I forgot to enter the new stream key, and so I don't know where. I was out in YouTube aerospace somewhere. Had to disconnect, enter the stream key, and then come back live again. So Mark Sturlson was here with me earlier. I think Mark is still here. I'm not sure. But it's been some technical issues tonight. But I'm showing you all my Harlequin rasboros that we got at our local Petco. I think last Friday, Rod and I went to get some plants for his aquariums. We took all of the hydrophila out of his aquarium. He suffered one death with a one of those blue dwarf rainbows. I think it was the male that passed away. And then Jeff, he did lose his beta from, age and organ failure. Hello, Dina. Welcome to the live stream, honey. Hope you're doing good, working hard. And so these are the Harlequin rasboros that I bought. I bought 6 of them for $3.99 each at Petco. And then today is our 25th wedding anniversary. I don't know if I'm going to leave the light off on this tank or bring it back on. There we go. Coming over to the 10 gallon with the bronze Corydoras in it. And I took almost all of the aragonite crushed coral substrate out because it stayed cloudy. They weren't happy with that low pH, so they usually go swimming around. Thank you, Mark. Y'all undoubtedly missed Rod. There was technical issues. Hello, Vinosky. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing well. Salient Aquatics. Hello there, dear. Good to have you. Liked. Thank you very much for your for your like. But this is the bronze corridor 10-gallon tank. And I guess I'll show you the rest of the fish room aquariums. The black moors that I got from Jeff, they are really growing. I'm so proud of them. I know the glare is bad, so let me get a little closer. That piece of Cholo driftwood in the back was on the bottom of the substrate. Now I fasted these aquariums for 2 days. Hello, SC Catahulas. How are you doing? Welcome to the live stream. And I do small 20 to 30% water changes every 2 weeks. I know it should be probably every 2 or 3 days. They might get used to it, but I just don't want to threaten losing them. I got to test my tap water again because, you know, at the season changes, the sometimes your local city water company will add extra chemicals and stuff to help flush out any bacteria that built up during the winter. But we had a good discussion last week talking about, you know, spur of the moment, uneducated decisions. Sometimes you get excited and wound up and you want to introduce new fish to an uncycled aquarium sometimes. And then sometimes you'll say, I'm going to rebuild my fish tanks and start adding more species, but I'm working slowly this time. And I am trying to do species only 10 gallons so that when I do open up the shop here again to the public, that they can see species instead of a community tank. Now I will have some community tanks. Like this one behind me is housing the 5 Shelleys right now. And I'm getting a 20 long that I'm going to transfer them to. And I wasn't aware when I bought the aragonite sand that there's different variants of the product. When I shop for sand, I want sand. I don't want gravel. And I have a bag of gravel that I put in this, had put in a 10 gallon with the bronze cories, and the bronze cories weren't very happy at all. So I'm going to set up the camera again for those who did not get to see the baby albino plecos that I have. I have a tank full of plecos. Picked up a polar blue tiger parrotfish last Sunday. Oh, you're gonna love him. Did you just get one? I know Jeff at Lumpy Dog had sent me, I think, 4. And hey, Craig's Catfish Cave, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. As you see on the substrate, now, I've got activity going on inside the caves. Yes, 1, okay. Great. Yeah, the substrate is covered in baby plecos. And of course, the glass and the plants and the caves and everything else in this 40-gallon is covered with baby albino bristlenose plecos. So I've still got some in the tote behind me. Probably about 15 in there. Oh, he was at PetSmart. Interesting. That's nice. Yeah, we went to Petco last Friday, and Rod bought some Anubias species plants. He bought 2, and then 1 melon sword. So he had a dwarf, a blue dwarf, powder blue dwarf rainbow fish. I don't know why I have a problem with that. Yeah, they've been getting different fish since they redid all their tanks. Good. Yeah, my local PetSmart. I haven't been in it in a while because like 6 or 8 months ago, I went in there and I told them, I said, I came in here to buy fish, but your fish section looks so bad. I'm very disappointed. I wouldn't buy any. I wouldn't even buy the feeder goldfish out of there. They have Bichers, however you say them now. Yeah, I think there's so many different ways. Well, thank you, Mark. He's gifted 5 SLC Aquatics aquatic memberships. Thank you very much, Mark. New Local Austin, Holly Gibbs, Scuba Steve's Aquatics, C&G Aquatics, and Jeff at Empire of Dirt Aquatics was gifted a membership by Mark Sturleson. Thank you so much, Mark. God bless you, honey. Salient says, yeah, they need to do better pulling out dead fish and yeah, you're slang. But everybody's saying hi. I know that Jeff was having a bite to eat. So still haven't really straightened this rack out. Still got to get a bunch of junk off of it. And then I'm waiting for I'm waiting for this tank. I don't know what I'm going to put in it yet. I might get some angels from everythingaquatic.net. Go to the live stream, go to the website and order your angelfish, order your food products, food and aquarium equipment like sponge filters. Dina, I have not used this gravel vac yet because I do not know how to put it completely together. You said I'm looking good this evening. You've been taking walks and working out a bit. Look vibrant. Thank you. I have lost 25 pounds, I think. I'm trying to walk, but my feet still give me problems. You will have to fight with Mr. SLC Aquatics. You know that. We are celebrating 25 years of marriage today. You so cute. But thank you very much for the compliment. Also, I'm looking for Ed's picking up cichlids, and Marianne, I don't know where they are tonight. Marianne might have to be working. I know there's a lot of other folks. If I start calling names, I don't want to hurt anybody. Like Holly's not here tonight. The Zen Ginger's not here. Dina says I can try to get a photo of the water changes and see if that may help you put yours together. Thank you. I think the hose just goes on the end of the plastic tube, but to me it looks like it needs to have a connection there. And then some of the pieces, yeah, try to do a water change for me. These are the I think it's the large one. And according to the picture on the back, the hose just connects to the top of this plastic tube. So I did have it together correctly. And I left the valve at the bottom, but sometimes I think it comes with two tubes. So I was thinking about if it'll connect, or I can just put another piece of tube down there. But I like the filter feature right here, and also it has attachments to it, guys. It has like a pre-filter, this here, and it has kind of like a vacuum. And then I guess this is maybe a connecting tube, where if I had to go with a longer with an extension, it'll go on the end of the gravel vac. But I like this features that comes with it and attachments. Diego at Petsotics is in the house. Hello, Diego. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, according to the picture, I did have it put together right. I just haven't tried to use it yet, but I will when I empty this 40-gallon behind me right here. I'll use it on that. Y'all want to see these baby plecos? Look at those baby plecos. Those little wigglers that's on the substrate. I know there's got to be over 50 baby plecos. But I'm gonna use it for the water change in that 40, and then I'm gonna give it to Rod so he has his own gravel vac water change system in his room. Ramphonic's in the house. Hello, Ramphonic. Good to have you with us tonight. Yeah. That's one side of the tank. Let me show y'all the other side of the tank. I added some Vallisneria in there that I bought from a local hobbyist. The new plant growth since I used, what is it? Gotta go get it. I used the Flourish XL to get rid of the blackbeard algae, and most of it is gone out of that 40 gallon. And some of the leaves I need to cut off, you know, that are older leaves that probably had been damaged by the blackbeard algae. And then Ed's picking up cichlids told me last week that rosy barbs will also eat blackbeard algae, and there were some mixed rosy barbs at Petco, but I wasn't sure if those were the ones I wanted in my aquarium. Vibes Aquatics is in the house. Hello, listening and driving. Well, please be careful. I'll try not to say anything that causes you shock or distraction from driving safely. Good to have you with us. And I do need to treat that 40 gallon again, Dina, because a second barb has shown up with some white patches on its body. Doesn't look fungusy, it just looks like white, a light discoloration from their bodies. So the other one looks better. It's so weird, but I do need to do a 25% water change anyway, because I didn't retreat fast enough. And I do need to do another 25% water change, and then another dose of this jungle fungus clear. Sorry guys. I use this because it was effective for healing one of my peppered Corydoras. It does say it's a fungus, but it doesn't look fuzzy. It just looks like white patches on their body. But it's not ick. But this works for my fish. I tried Ick X and erythromycin and lost one of my cories. She didn't recover. Careful of meds and the tanks cycle. Yep. That's one thing that I don't know if you ever saw this aquarium before I broke it down, but it was months of neglect, and it was overtaken with blackbeard algae, and my peppered Corydora, one of them had come down severely covered. Half of her body was covered with a fungus, and I took her out and put her in a 5-gallon by herself, and I treated her with this jungle fungus clear medication. And then after I think 3 treatments, that's when I started adding erythromycin to the aquarium to help heal up any sores that she may have had on her body. The fungus cleared up within the first 2 treatments. And I probably deleted the photos, but I did take some before treatment and during treatment and after treatment pictures. They might be on Facebook, I'm not sure. But yes, Jonathan, I agree. You do have to be careful with meds and the tank cycle. This internal night crew filter has charcoal in it, but it's so small amount that I wasn't worried about it taking any of the meds out of the water. But I will replace it when I'm completely through medicating this tank. That's why I'm not selling any of the adult albino plecos right now, because this tank is still being treated. I need to do a very careful water change in my cherry shrimp aquarium, and the substrate is in very bad shape, and I probably need to add some snails. It's got ram's horn snails in there. I need something that will turn over the substrate. And I know there are certain snails like trumpet snails. I don't know. I don't want any assassin snails. I've had them before. But I'll do some more research to find out, unless y'all give me some suggestions of what would keep the substrate stirred up and turned over for the shrimp. Just probably don't overfeed the tank is one of the biggest problems I have. I might add, I probably need to put some root feeding plants up there. I've got an Anubias on a piece of driftwood, so I need to add like some crypts and swords, some dwarf swords up in there, so that I can get some of that substrate cleaned up. And I gotta take that sponge. It's not a sponge filter, but it's kind of like a matte filter, but it's inside a filter section of the aquarium. It's a Fluval tank. So if anybody's familiar with Fluval, you know it has a separate filter compartment with a large kind of like matte sponge in there with bags of filter media. I'm going to get some more of that K1 filter media and add another filter bag, because there's 2 compartments for it, but one of them's empty. So, but I don't know if y'all can see the tank behind me, but I'm gonna try to set it up. You'll see the camera. Let me see. Yeah, you can. You'll see my, hey Mark, Big Easy Support Group, welcome to the live stream. Yeah, that's the Shelleys behind me. Of course, you see my reflection, the laptop's reflection, just bad lighting in this room. And I've got pumps up in front of it. But that is the Shelleys. If I can come over this way a little bit and block the laptop. but they don't really use the shells too much since they've got that much water volume. So that's why I'm looking forward to either a 15 long or 20 long that will give them less depth of water, and maybe they'll clean out some of their shells and actually stay in them. But that one has a bunch of vallisneria in it as well. I added to that aquarium, and it still has a sword in there that hasn't grown very much because it's just not very many nutrients in that tank. But anyway, that's what's going on behind me. And then this one I'm embarrassed about, but I'm going to show it to you because good and bad happens in the hobby. So this tank has a bunch of brown mulm in it. Not mulm, brown algae. And that's where my Corydoras are housed right now. I need to clean that off and do a good 50% water change in there. And Dina, I got to work with that sponge filter that I bought from you, the single one. It's got a lot of, I've got a strong enough air pump on it, but I probably don't have something hooked up right. And of course I got to wash that sponge filter off already. The Tub Pond Handbook. Hello, Dr. Ted Coletti. How's Jeff? Well, welcome to the live stream, sir. The Tub Pond Handbook. That is cute. Is Melvin running around with different channel names? Stephen P. 2003 Aquatics. Hey. Hello, Stephen. Welcome to the live stream. You would come in at this horrendous tank, wouldn't you? Yes, you would. I'm as good as I can be. How about you, sir? Dr. Ted. Dr. Ted, for real? I am so honored to have you here. I don't have any video of my 150-gallon stock tub and my 40-gallon stock tubs. I'm in the process right now of thinking about, no judgment, I have horrendous tanks. Well, I'm going to show you my 40 again. Oh. How about that one? That's my 40. It's got gold barbs in it and albino bristlenose plecos, then probably about 50 to 75 baby plecos in it. No tank is horrendous. It has character. It does have character. Thank you, Dr. Ted, excuse me. So good to have you with us tonight. I am just a novice hobbyist here, and no matter how long I've been in the hobby, I forget things. Bingo. That's true. Yeah, you forget things, and then when I get to talking to Rod says, you have so much information up in your head. I said, having it in my head and applying it are two different things. Susan, that's why Stephen P. doesn't show his tanks live. Cough, cough. Well, thank you so much. This one has, I tried to add some a seeded sponge filter. This is a 10-gallon that's got 10 bronze Corydoras in it. I added rocks from a previous, from the 40, but that had been treated with Flourish XL for Blackbeard algae. Stephen does not show his tanks live because they usually have nudie ornaments. Well, that's a different subject that we're going to swim right on past that one. And we set up this tank with aragonite substrate at first because I was really out of substrate. And of course I knew better. that it wasn't going to do well for the cories, because the cories came from Rod's 40-gallon upstairs. I didn't think it would really have that much effect on them, because after I think our tap water pH is around 6.6, but it'll drop to 6.0 or below the longer it goes without water changes. And so when I set this tank up for them, I didn't rinse the substrate very well. I thought I did, but it kept remaining cloudy. And then the first night they swam around happy as good little happy fish, and then they just started sitting on the substrate. Sitting on the substrate, not swimming around too much. So I went ahead and took them out, put them in the tub, and took all of the substrate out. And then I added these rocks that came out of the 40-gallon, so they may still have some beneficial bacteria on them. And the sponge filter was a seeded sponge filter. And then some of the decor, I took a lava rock out of the other 40-gallon and put it in here, trying to add some beneficial bacteria to the aquarium. And so, you singing? So anyway, they're doing better. They take moments of resting, and then if I come in here with the lights off, I like bow front tank as show tanks. These are really not bow front tanks. It's the effect on the lens of my camera. So let me see if I can actually do anything different with this thing. No, it's not adjustable. Y'all don't want to see what I'm doing. I don't want it to be bow front. And then I got a little 5-gallon aquarium over here with a little school of Harlequin rasboras in it. It's going to have reflection on it. I'm sorry for that. But I bought them Friday at Petco. I like raw tank footage. It feels more like a real tank than a movie prop, and I'm not ready to be a real YouTuber with the editing stuff. Maybe one day, but that day is not today. I hate editing because I had to do so much of it. People who love to edit and get it right, you know, there's been times, some of my video on my channel, my earlier years, probably before I started live streaming so much. Before I started live streaming so much, there was some edited content that I put up. My green screen tanks aren't usually edited. That's cute. Yep, you can record and record and record and have it looping behind you. So, but my favorite is the 40-gallon right now, full of baby albino plecos. And it makes it look like it's a bow front, but it's not. that these little boogers have been feeding on everything. They're on the substrate, they're on the plants, they're on the glass, they're on the caves. How much time did you spend scrubbing them first, Stephen? Y'all so funny. Scrub those green screen tanks. But anyway, it is 7 o'clock and I am going to sign off so the next person can do their streaming. I want to thank Dr. Ted Coletti, the Tub Pond Handbook guy, for being here, and Stephen P. and Jeff and Dina and Vinoski, and if I keep calling everybody's name, Mark Sturlson, and Mark, I think he gifted 5 memberships earlier today. Everybody have a good evening. Mark Support Group, Big Easy Support Group, Salient Aquatics, Craig's Catfish Cave, like I said, Vinoski. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here with us tonight. Don't forget to like the stream, Dina says. Thank you very much. God bless you. This is Susan for SLC Aquatics, #FishFamMom. See you next time. Bye-bye.